So these are the different methods of concrete mix design. Yesterday also I showed this slide. So whichever the methods that I have put it in a color, so those are all the current uh, means they are used currently in the different countries. Like road node number 4 method is used in UK, and IRC, that is Indian Road Congress, is used in India also, and American Concrete Institute method, that is ACI method, it is used in US, and Department of Environment, that is a British mixed design method. So we have uh, different uh, methods to find the concrete mix, but in the for your syllabus it is there from the IS standards. So that is as per the code IS 10262 2009. So this also I discussed in the last class, that is factors to be considered for mixed design. I'll repeat once again. So here the grade designation, that is whether it is M30, M20 or M40. So that grade designation giving the characteristic strength is required, and the type of cement that is used in the construction site for that particular construction site, it is required, and maximum nominal size, what is the maximum size of the aggregate that is used in the site as per the uh, IS 456 2000, that is also required. And then what is the maximum and what is the minimum cement content uh, that is obtained from the uh, mixed proportion, and also what is the maximum and minimum cement content as per to the exposure condition, so that to take care of the durability aspects, that is also important. And also the workability at the time of placing and compaction, what should be the workability, that is what should be the slump, that is also required. So these are some of the important factors that is required for the mixed design. So these are the some of the standard codes that is used along with the 10262 2019. So along with this, we require IS 456 2000, that is as already told in the last class, it is a holy book for civil engineers. So that is very important code book. And along with that, we require IS 383 2018, sorry 2016, and also IS that is IS 2386, that is for methods of test for aggregates. So along with IS 10262 2019, so these are the other code books that is required for the mixed design. But uh, current, as already told in the last class, IS 10262 2019 is a new version, so it has been updated in the year 2019, whereas earlier we were using IS 10262 2009. So here in IS 10262 2009, so only ordinary and standard grades of concrete were discussed in that code book. But in this current IS standard, that is IS 10262 2019, so along with ordinary and standard grades of concrete, so high strength concrete mix is also discussed, and self compacting concrete mix design is also discussed, and also concrete mix design for mass concreting is also discussed. So in the earlier there was only ordinary and standard grades, for ordinary and standard grades. So in the current code, so they have included for high strength concrete and self compacting concrete and for mass concrete. So earlier we don't have any code for self compacting concrete for the concrete mix design for self compacting concrete, but in this current code book they have give the design guidelines for the self compacting concrete also. And also in IS 102, in the previous mixed design code, they were using IS 383 to 1980. So now even IS 383 2016 is also updated, so in the year 2016. So whatever the value which is pertaining to IS 383 is also already included in IS 10262 2019. So here in the other things are even water cement ratio calculation have been clearly specified in the current IS 10262 2019 codebook, whereas in the earlier codebook it was not clearly specified. And also the calculation for standard deviation have been discussed in detail. So I will explain that in the coming slides in the current code. whereas in the earlier code there was no calculation for standard deviation. And also in the earlier code they were not discussed about the water cement ratio for other types of cement like PPC or OPC with fly ash or OPC with slag or for high strength concrete. But in the current code, so for all the types of cement, how to get the water cement ratio is also clearly discussed. So these are some of the things that have been updated in IS 10262 2019. So in IS code, this also I at the last I explained in the yesterday's class. So here we want all these types of values before going for the mixed design. We require grade designation, type of cement, maximum size of aggregate, minimum and maximum minimum cement content and maximum water cement ratio for the durability aspects, workability, transportation time, exposure condition. So in what condition the building is constructing, that is in the field condition it is required, method of placing, method of compacting, it is required, and then type of coarse aggregate, what kind of aggregates that we are using, then type of fine aggregate, what are the different types, which type we are using in the site, that is coarse and fine, and maximum cement content for the durability aspects. And if we are using chemical admixtures, and if we are using mineral admixtures, what kind of chemical admixtures we are using, what kind of mineral admixtures we are using. All these data are very much essential to get the mix proportions. So uh, if you have along with you, if you keep mm, a pen on pen and paper along with what you are hearing or what you are seeing through the slide, it will be very helpful for you because I'm explaining the procedure. So first step is the target strength for mix proportioning. So first we have to find the target strength for the mix proportion. So if there are two formulas for that. Okay, so target strength is designated by F dash ck. So F dash ck is equal to fck plus 1.65s, or F dash ck is equal to fck plus x. Okay, so this formula is available in the page number 2 of IS 10262 2019. Okay, so no need to add this because in the codebook it will be there. So if you know the page number of the codebook, it will be helpful for you. F dash ck is nothing but it is a target compressive strength at 28 days, whereas fck is nothing but characteristic compressive strength at 28 days. So there is a difference between F dash ck and fck. FCK, characteristic compressive strength, means uh, the strength that is obtained at 28 days. After finding the strength at 28 days, so only 5% of the test results are expected to fail. That is the characteristic strength. Target mean strength is obtained from the mixed design. Okay, so after 28 days, whatever the strength that you obtain after 28 days, so there will be a target strength. Okay, so in the coming slide, I have the example. I will explain there. So if test CK is target strength, FCK is characteristic strength, which is measured at 28 days in Newton per mm square. S is nothing but standard deviation, which is in Newton per mm square. I will show in the coming slide how to calculate it. And X is a factor based on the grade of concrete as per table number 1 of IS 10262 2019. So this is the first step. We are finding the target strength. So these are some of the things that is there in the codebook to find the standard deviation. So here to find the standard deviation, so sometimes it will be given in the codebook. See, you can see in IS 10262 2019 page number 3, you have the value for standard deviation. Okay, so that is the assumed standard deviation given by the code itself. Okay, so if you don't have the assumed deviation, because we can't rely on the assumed standard deviation, so if we want to find the standard deviation, then we should know the strength of the samples. Okay, we should know the compressive strength of each samples. Okay, so at least we require 30 samples, like that means we should have 30 samples of the cubes, then only we can able to find this standard deviation. Okay, so when significant changes are made in the production of concrete batches, then the standard deviation should be calculated separately for each batch. So as you all know, whenever we prepare a concrete batch by batch, so there should be uniformity in all the batches of concrete. So if you find any changes in the different batches, then we have to calculate the standard deviation for each batch separately. Okay, when there is no sufficient test results for a particular grade, if there is no sufficient test results, then we have to use the assumed standard deviation, which is given in the table number 2 of IS 10262. So to find the standard deviation, we have a formula here. I think you have done in your mathematics also in the similar way. So S is equal to root of square of deviation divided by n minus 1. Okay. So this is a formula to find the standard deviation. So like that, I have one example you can see. So I have a 10 samples. Okay. 10 samples having a strength of 43, 48, 40, 38, 36, 39, 42, 45, 37, 35, all are in Newton per mm square. So by taking the average of that, we'll get 40.3. So they say minimum IS standards say, if you refer this 4.2.1.1, they say minimum of there should be 30 samples. Okay, but I have taken a 10 only 10 samples, because for calculation to show you how to do the calculation, I am uh, taken only 10 samples. Okay, so taking average of that x dash, you will get some value. Then deviation x minus of x dash, 43 minus 40.3, you will get 2.7. 48 minus 40.3, you will get 7.7. Like that we have to calculate the deviation. So in the fifth column we have to square it, so that is the square of deviations. So after calculating the square of deviations for 10 samples, then we have to take the summation of that. We'll get 156.1 by adding all those square of deviation values. So standard deviation formula, as already explained here, S is equal to root of square of sum of square of deviation values, that is 156.1, divided by n minus 1. So n is nothing but number of samples. We have 10 samples, so 10 minus 1 will get 9. So the standard deviation is 4.16. So if we have the compressive strength values for all the 30 cubes, then we can able to find the standard deviation in this way. Or else, if we don't have the value of all the 30 samples, then the code only they have specified the value for standard deviation. So it is in table number 2. For the different grades of concrete, the standard deviation is already assumed. So if you don't have the compressive strength values, then you can assume the values which is given in the code book. Okay, it is there in IS 10262 page number 3. So one example I have put up here. If grade of concrete assumed is M30, so if the grade of concrete that is assumed is M30, M means, you know what M is, mix. That is nothing but it is a characteristic strength. So then the target strength that is obtained is the formula you have saw in the first slide. So f dash ck is equal to fck plus 1.65s, or f dash ck is equal to fck plus x. Okay, so same formula we have used. F dash ck is equal to fck, that is 30, plus 1.65. It is the statistical coefficient that is obtained from normal distribution curve for the characteristic strength. So that the value is given in the code book itself. So 30 plus 1.65 into S is nothing but standard deviation. If you see, I have highlighted for M30 grade, the assumed standard deviation is 5. So 1.6.25, you'll get 38.25. Or one more equation, one more formula was there. F dash CK is equal to 30 plus X. Okay. So 30 plus X, that is X is nothing but factor based on the grade of concrete. So it is also given in the code book. For M30 grade of concrete, the value of X is 6.5. So if you add those two, you will get 36.5. Out of these two, whichever is higher, you have to take it for the calculation. That is, out of 38.25 and 36.5, the highest is 38.25. So you have to take that as a target strength. So in this, I can say that target strength required is 38.25, whereas characteristic strength is only 30. So after doing the mixed proportion, when you cast the cubes, okay, when you test the cube, all the value should be there in the range between 30 to 38.25. Okay, only 5% of the test results are expected to fall. That means only if you cast 100 cubes, then 95 cubes should be in the range of 30 to 38.25. If the value only 5 cubes can expected to fall, that is only 5 cubes can be less than 30 newton per mm square. So that is the target strength. I hope you understood the difference between target and the compressive strength. Okay, target strength is the strength that is obtained from the concrete mix design, whereas characteristic strength is a strength that is given in the code book. Okay, so when you cast the cubes, the range of strength for 100 cubes, it should be in the range of 30 to 38.25. Only 5 cubes can be less than 30. So this is first step, that is target strength. I hope you understood. Second, we'll go for a selection of water cement ratio. So here uh, different cements, different size of aggregates, grading, shape, all these will affect the compressive strength. We have studied in workability. I'm not going to repeat once again all those things. Okay. So to calculate the water cement ratio, so next is selection of water cement ratio. So after finding target strength, so next we have to select the water cement ratio based on the target strength, which is obtained at 28 days, which is done in the first step. So you know what are the factors affecting the water cement ratio. So I'm not going to repeat that once again, like uh, size, grading, texture, shape, and other characteristics will affect the water cement ratio. So to find the water cement ratio, we have a graph. Okay, so this is a graph to find the water cement ratio. So just I've put up a line just to make sure to explain you. So curve 1, curve 2, and curve 3 is the curves for the different types of cements. Okay, curve 1 is for the OPC 33 cement, curve 2 is for OPC 43 cement, and curve 3 is for OPC 53 cement. Okay, if you want the details, it is given the below of the graph. So curve 1 is nothing but for expected 28-day compressive strength of 33 and less than 43, and curve 2 is the 28-day compressive strength of cement in between the range of 43 to 53, whereas curve 3 is for the compressive strength of cement more than 53 and above. So overall, curve 1 is for OPC 33, curve 2 is for OPC 43, and curve 3 is for OPC 53. They have given a note. If we use other than OPC cement, okay, if we use PPC, that is Portland Pozzolana cement, or Portland slag cement, initially we have to assume curve 2. Okay, so for initial mix calculation, we have to assume curve 2. If you are using PPC or PSC, it is there in the below note, okay, of the graph. So now in the last step, in the first step, we find the target strength. We found the value as 38.25 newton per mm square. Okay, example, say if we are using OPC 43 grade cement, okay, then on the y-axis it gives the target strength, on the x-axis it gives the water cement ratio. Okay, for 38.25 we have to draw a line so that it should touch the curve 2. That is, curve 2 is for OPC 43 as already explained. So then we have to drop the line so that it touches the water cement ratio. Okay, so this is how we have to find the water cement ratio. So on the y-axis we have target strength 38.25, have marked in a red line. Okay, so then we have to make sure that we have to draw a line touching curve 2, and we have to drop touching the x-axis. So the value of water cement ratio approximately is 0.44. Okay, so now if we are constructing this building, say in Mangalore, where there is a severe exposure condition, because the Mangalore is subjected to it's subjected to sea water, or if the building is constructed near the sea water or where the sea water is there, so then it comes to severe exposure condition. Okay, but for severe exposure condition, if you see the code book, okay, in IS 456, I will show in the coming slides, I have that. So it says that the maximum water cement ratio should be used is 0.45. Okay, when you calculate, when you get the value of water cement ratio from the graph, okay, it should be less than whatever the maximum water cement ratio specified in the code book. Okay, if it is more than whatever the maximum specified in the code book, then you have to adopt whatever the maximum water cement ratio given in the code book itself. Okay, say example, if the maximum water cement ratio for this condition is 0.45, now we got 0.44, assume that we got 0.50. Okay, so then we have to use 0.45 only, we should not take 0.5, because IS code says that the maximum to be used for this condition is 0.45. Okay, so lesser of the two should be adopted for the calculation. Okay, first we have to check the water cement ratio in this graph. Okay, then we have to uh, correlate with the maximum water cement ratio given in the code book in IS 456. Then whichever is the lesser of the two, then we have to take that for the calculation. So this is the about the water cement ratio. Next is estimation of air content. So as you all know, there will be some amount of air that going to be entrapped uh, in the concrete. Okay, so even that air content calculation also we have to assume at the initial mix proportion. As you all know, definitely at the time of mixing and at the time of transporting, before we go for placing, so definitely, or sorry, before we go for compacting, certainly some amount of air going to be entrapped, so that air entrapped value also, that is air content value also have to be approximately calculated at the beginning of the mix design only. So for that we have table number 3 in IS 10262 2019. So it says two columns, that is nominal maximum size of aggregate and entrapped air. So what should be the maximum size of the aggregate, that we should know. Okay, that is what I have told in the factors to be considered for mix design. We should know what is the maximum size of the aggregate, and then we can able to find the volume of the entrapped air. So if the maximum size is 20, then the value of entrapped air given is as 1. So if it is 25 as the maximum size, then we have to do the interpolation between 20 and 40, and we have to calculate the volume of the entrapped air. Okay, usually for RCC construction the maximum size will be 20. Okay, so for 20 the volume of the entrapped air is given as 1. So if it is the other if you take 25 as a maximum size, then you have to do the interpolation between 20 and 40. So this is the third step, finding the estimation of the air content. Next is fourth step, that is a selection of water content and admixture content. So selection of water content these are the pics I have taken from the code book itself. Okay, so no need to worry, all these things I have taken from the code book, and whichever is the important one, that much I have highlighted. Okay, so the water content of concrete is influenced by so many factors, size, shape, texture, workability, water cement ratio, and other uh, mineral admixtures and chemical admixtures, and as well as the environmental condition also. And also if you use rounded size aggregate, then the water demand is less. If you use the angular size of aggregate, then water demand will be more. Or if you want to reduce the water content, you can add water reducing admixtures, so that we can able to reduce the water content to improve the strength. All these some theoretical aspects we have already studied in the fresh concrete. So directly I will jump on to whichever is required for the calculation. Okay, so now they have given a table. Okay, so you can see the table. So in table number 4, for maximum size 10, 20, 40 and water content, they have given certain value. So this value is given for 50 slump. Okay, so those values which is specified in the table, it is given for 50 slump. So for every, say for every 25 increase in slump or decrease in slump, we have to increase or decrease by 3%. Okay, say if the example, if the slump required for calculation is 75, okay, then you have to increase the water content by 3%, because this value which is given in the table, it is only for 20 sorry, only for 50 slump, but you have to find the water content for 75 slump. So for 75 then you have to increase by 3%. Similarly, if you are finding workability for 100 slump, then for every 25 increase, you have to increase by 3%. So if you are finding workability for 100 then you have to increase the water by 6%. Okay, so 3% for 25 increase, and another 3% for another 25 increase in slump. Okay, in this way you have to calculate the water content. And if we are using chemical admixtures, in our concrete mix design. Okay, so if you are using chemical admixtures, then we have to reduce the water content. Okay, so what is the main use of adding a chemical admixtures? To get the workability by reducing the water cement ratio. Okay, so if you add the admixtures, then you have to reduce the water content by 20 to 30%. Okay, so this is as per the code. I am not saying it, it is as per the code. So you have to decrease the water content by 10 to 5 to 10% and 20 to 30% based on the dosage of chemical admixture that we are using in the construction site. Okay, based on that we have to reduce the water content. So now this is a table, so which is given in the code book, page number 5 of IS 10262 2019. So for 10 mm as a, if you use 10 mm as a maximum size, then water content is 208. If you use 20 mm as a maximum size, 186 water is the water content, and 40 mm if you use as a maximum size, then it is 165 as the water content. Okay, so example, so if you are using 75 mm as a workability and the maximum size of aggregate is 20 mm, then the water content is 186 plus, as already told here, for every 25 mm increase or decrease in slump, you have to increase or decrease by 3%. Okay, so here from 50 it has gone to 75, so it has increased by 25 mm, so you have to increase the water content by 3%. So 186 plus 3% of 186, total is 191.56 kg or liters. Okay, so this is how we are finding the water content. If we are using chemical admixtures as already told, then we have to reduce the water content by 20 to 30% or 5 to 10% depend on the dosage that we use in the site. So here I have reduced the water content by 20%. So now the water content that is used for our mix design is 153.24. Okay, if we are not using chemical admixtures at all, then whatever the water content that is obtained after increasing by 3%, then that is only enough. Okay, that is 191.56 kg or liters only will be enough. If you are using chemical admixtures, then you have to reduce by some percentage. Okay, either from 5 to 10 or 20 to 30 you can able to reduce. So this is how we doing the calculation of water content. Okay, so next, calculation of cement content. So here to find the calculation of cement content, we require water cement ratio as well as we require the water content also. Okay, so within we like without calculating water cement ratio or water content, we cannot able to find the cement content. So to find the cement content, it is calculated from the free water cement ratio and the quantity of water per unit volume of concrete. So this you have already just now I explained it. So if you remember in the second step when we did the selection of water cement ratio, just I'm telling an example. So we got 0.44 from the graph and 0.45 from the code, whichever is lesser we have to use for the calculation. There I have explained, and 153.24 is the what that is the calculation of the water content after reducing the water content by some percentage if we use a admixture. So assuming that we are using admixture, so cement content is 153.24, that is the uh, that is the calculation of the water content divided by water cement ratio, that is 0.44. We get 348.27 kg per m cube. So this is the cement content for 1 meter cube of concrete. Okay, so for 1 meter cube of concrete, the cement required is 348.27 kg. Okay, so if we are using any admixtures, mineral admixtures like fly ash, GGBS, silica fume, or any other mineral admixtures, then we have to try out for 20%. So minimum we have to use the minimum mineral admixtures for 20% replacement for the cement. Or if we are not able to get the exact percentage, then we have to increase the cement, that is increase the mineral admixtures for every 10%. For each trial we have to keep on increasing till we get a sufficient workability and strength. We have to keep on increasing the 10% as a trial. So or directly you can go for 20% or more. Okay, whichever is suitable you can use it in the site. Okay, next, after finding the cement content, then it has to be checked with the IS 456 code to know the durability aspects. Okay, so here I have the IS code in the next slide. Okay, I have highlighted it. So for severe condition, you say if you are going for a reinforced concrete, then it's a minimum cement content should be 320. Okay, so minimum cement content should be 320, so it should not be less than 320. So now whatever we got cement content from the example is 348.27, so it is more than the minimum cement content. Fine. Next, second column, maximum free water cement ratio, it says 0.45. So whatever we assumed is from the graph is 0.44, so it is less than 0.45, that is also fine. Next, minimum grade of concrete, it should be M30. So whatever we assumed in the first step, that is we are calculating the mixed design for, we have taken example as M30, so that is also fine. So it should not be less than M30 and more. Okay, so this is how we have to check the water cement ratio value with the IS 456 code book, and also minimum cement content with the same code book. Okay, for the exposure condition. And at the below diagram it says cement content should not exceed 450 kg per m cube. So this is a maximum cement content. So now our value 348.27 is less than 450. So it should be in between 320 to 450. So whatever we got 348, it is in between those two, so it satisfies the codal provisions. Okay, so this is how we have to check the cement content and water cement ratio with the IS 456 code book. Okay, so if they give, sometimes they will give these values in the problem itself, or else they will give the code book, okay, for you to check. So most of the time, 90% of the time, they will give the value in the question itself, that is minimum cement content and maximum water cement ratio, they will give it in the question itself. So next is estimation of coarse aggregate. So here we have to first step we did target strength, second step we find the water cement ratio, third step we find the calculation of the water, and uh, sorry, third step we find the estimation of the air content, fourth step we find the calculation of the water, fifth step we find the calculation for the cement content, and sixth step we are finding the estimation of coarse aggregate. Okay, so here for in the for the calculation of coarse aggregate, first we have to find the volume of the coarse aggregate for 1 meter cube of concrete. Okay, so to find that we have a table here. Okay, so this is table 5 given in IS 10262 2019. So these values are given for the water cement ratio of 0.5. So I have specified in the uh, I have highlighted it. So table 5 is they have given a volume of coarse aggregates for the water cement ratio of 0.5. Okay, so next line, read it very carefully. So the proportion of volume of coarse aggregate, so of to that of total aggregate, is increased at a rate of 0.01 for every decrease in the water cement ratio by 0.05. Okay, so we have to take, this is a benchmark. Zero point 0.5 is the 0.5 water cement ratio is the benchmark. Okay, so whatever the water cement ratio that we are adopting for our mixed design, based on that, this volume of a coarse aggregate will increase or sometimes it decrease. Okay, so the rate is for every uh, for every decrease in 0.05 of water cement ratio, we have to increase the volume of coarse aggregate by 0.01. Similarly, whether increase or decrease. Okay, so I will give an example. You can see for 20 mm maximum size of the aggregate. Okay, so this zone 4, zone 3, zone 2, zone 1 is all obtained from the IS 383 codebook. Okay, so don't worry, don't get confused, it is very easy, don't get confused. So IS 383 2016, so based on that it gives table 7 for coarse aggregate, table 9 for fine aggregate. Whatever we do the sieve analysis test, okay, so whatever the percentage passing that we are finding at the last column, so you are finding whatever the retained, next we are finding cumulative retained percentage, at the last column we are finding percentage passing. Okay, so this percentage passing should conform to the IS 383 codebook. Okay, so whatever the percentage passing that you are finding for fine aggregate 4.75, 2.36, 1.18, so you are arranging the sieves, right? So this percentage passing should between it should conform to any one of the zones given for fine aggregate. Similarly for coarse aggregate, these after doing sieve analysis, the values which is given for particular sieves, it should the value should obtain in your sieve analysis test also. Then only we can able to say these values, whatever we did the sieve analysis test, the material is conforming to IS 383 code book. Okay, so for fine aggregate we have to use either zone 2. The when we do the sieve analysis test, it should come either to zone 2 or zone 3. Okay, because zone 1 is for coarser sand, and zone 4 it should not be used in the RCC construction work because it is a fine sand. So whenever we do the sieve analysis test for fine aggregates, then it should come either to zone 2 or zone 3. Okay, similarly when we do the sieve analysis test for coarse aggregate, whatever the value specified there, the value the same the value should be obtained in the sieve analysis test also. So in that range the value should come, then only it will be conforming to IS 383 2016. So this also will be given in the question itself. They will say whether coarse aggregate is conformed to IS 383 or not, and for fine aggregate they will say the fine aggregate is in which zone. Okay, they will not give you to find, so they will only give in which zone the fine aggregate is, and they will say the coarse aggregate will be is conformed to IS 383 2016. So this value they will be giving in the data in the question itself. Okay, don't worry. So now we'll come to this. So maximum nominal size is 20, and if we say our fine aggregate is conforming to zone 2, okay, so we'll think that our fine aggregate is conformed to zone 2. So volume of coarse aggregate is 0.62 for a maximum size of 20, and for zone 2 fine aggregate the value obtained is 0.62. Okay, now this value of 0.62 is obtained for which water cement ratio? It is obtained for the water cement ratio of 0.5. It is given at the top of the table. Okay, it is obtained for the water cement ratio of 0.5. So for 0.5 the volume of coarse aggregate is obtained is 0.62, correct? Okay, now what we have adopted the water cement ratio, we have adopted the water cement ratio as 0.44. Okay, so compared to 0.5 our 0.44 is reduced by 0.06, right? So zero point 0.5 minus 0.44, 0.06. So whatever the water cement ratio we have adopted is 0.44, but this table value is given for 0.5. So our water cement ratio is reduced by 0.06. Okay, so what the code says, for every 0.05 decrease you have to increase the volume of coarse aggregate by 0.01. Okay, so here 0.62 is for 0.5 water cement ratio, and 0.06 is the decrease. So for 0.05 for 0.05 decrease in the water cement ratio we have to increase by 0.01, that we have increased. So now another 0.01 is left. So for every 0.01, so you can just do the calculation. For 0.05 you are decreasing by 0.01. So for 0.01 what is the decrease? So 0.002 will be the decrease. So now for our water cement ratio of 0.44, the volume of coarse aggregate is 0.632. So this is how we have to do the calculation of volume of coarse aggregate. Okay, so just I'll highlight it. So whatever the value which is given in table, it is for 0.5. Okay, okay, if we are adopting water cement ratio of 0.5 only, then volume of coarse aggregate is 0.62. Okay, directly. But in our example our water cement ratio is 0.44. So compared to 0.5 it is reduced by 0.06. So for every reduce of 0.05 we have to increase the volume of coarse aggregate by 0.01. So now for volume of coarse aggregate is 0.62, our decrease is 0.06. For 0.05 we have increased by 0.01, so we have another 0.01 left. Okay, so if you do the in the same calculation, then it will come to 0.002. So total volume of coarse aggregate for water cement ratio of 0.44 is 0.632. So this is how we have to calculate the volume of coarse aggregate. If you have not understood still, when we take up the problem you will get to know, don't worry. Okay, but I did this example, I hope you have understood, because I have given it clearly. I have put 0.62 plus 0.01 plus 0.002. I hope you can able to understand. If you have any doubt you can ask me by through WhatsApp. Next, volume of coarse aggregate is 0.632. How to find the volume of fine aggregate? it is 1 minus of volume of coarse aggregate. You can able to find the volume of fine aggregate. It is 100%. Okay, so fine and coarse aggregate should be 100%. So if volume of coarse aggregate is 0.632, 1 minus of 0.632 will give the volume of fine aggregate. Okay, example, if we are assuming pumping, okay, so while placing the concrete, if we are assuming pumping technique, because if there is a congestion in the reinforcement, if the aggregate if the aggregate cannot pass through that reinforcement cage, then we have to reduce the volume of coarse aggregate by 10%. It is given in the code book itself in the clause 5.5.2. You can see the volume of coarse aggregate you have to reduce by 10% for the table 5. Okay, so if you are using the workable concrete by the placing method of pumping, or if you find there is a congestion in the reinforcement steel where the aggregate content will not fall into the formwork, then you have to reduce the coarse aggregate volume by 10%. I have done that also. In the second example, you can see if pumping technique is adopted to place the concrete, then the volume of coarse aggregate is reduced by 10%. So if the value is 0.632, we have to reduce by 10% into zero point 0.9, you will get 0.568. Okay, we are reducing only 10%, so zero point 0.9. Okay, don't multiply zero point 0.1. Okay, then you are reducing by 90%. So 0.632 into zero point 0.9, you will get 0.568. Similarly, volume of fine aggregate is 1 minus of 0.568, you will get 0.432. So this is how we have to calculate the volume of coarse and uh, fine aggregates. So this is all the mix calculations. It is everything is there in the codebook. I have taken from the codebook itself. Whichever I have highlighted it, that is all important. Don't worry about the value, because value will be getting from the mix design itself. But to find the mix calculation, whichever I have highlighted it, that is very important. So total volume is 1 meter cube. We are designing the concrete for 1 meter cube of concrete. Volume of entrapped air. So if you remember, it is 1%. Okay, so that volume is 0.01 meter cube. So that also you will get from the codebook itself. Next, volume of cement. How to find the volume? Mass of the cement by specific gravity into 1 by 1000. Remember the formula. So mass of cement we have found there in the example, we got somewhere around 328. Don't take these values. Okay, these values is not related to the examples that I have given. So mass of cement, whatever the mass that you obtain, okay, divided by specific gravity of cement, it will be given in the code book itself. It will be given in the data into 1 by 1000. You will get it in the volume. Next, volume of water. You have find the mass of the water there. Okay, after reducing the admixture, if you are using admixtures, after reducing the water content by 20%, whatever the mass that you obtain, so that mass divided by specific gravity of water is 1 into 1 by 1000. You will get some volume of water. Similarly, volume of chemical admixtures. If you are using 1% dosage of chemical admixture for the weight of the cement, then mass of the chemical admixture is 1% to 1% of weight of cement. So if you take this value only, 412 is the mass of the cement. 1% of the weight of the cement is 412 divided by 100, you will get 4.12. That will be the mass of the chemical admixtures. Okay, so mass of the chemical admixture divided by specific gravity of admixture, that also will be given in the data, into 1 by 1000, you will get some volume. Now we have taken overall volume, we have taken volume of air, entrapped air, we have taken volume of cement, water and admixtures. What is left? So the left is volume of the aggregates, that is including both fine and coarse aggregate. So how to find the volume of aggregates? By subtracting all this value, 1 minus of 0.01, minus of 1.143, minus of 0.148, minus of 0.0036, you will get volume of the aggregates. So in this example, it is 0.695 meter cube. Now how to find the mass of coarse aggregate? So they say G into volume of coarse aggregate into specific gravity into 1000. Okay, now you are directly finding the mass. So only left in our calculation is the mass of coarse and fine aggregate. Other than that, we have find the we have find the mass of cement, mass of water. We have find the volume of coarse and fine aggregate, but we have not find the mass of coarse and fine aggregate. Okay, In this step, we are finding mass of coarse and fine aggregate. So mass of coarse aggregate is equal to G. G is nothing but the volume of all aggregates, 0.695. They have given a value. Then volume of coarse aggregate, whatever the volume that you obtain here, I have here our value, what we have taken example in there, the value is quite different. But you understand which volume of coarse aggregate to be taken. So here we have to enter the volume of coarse aggregate which I have found out in the previous step into specific gravity of the coarse aggregate into 1000. That gives the mass of coarse aggregate. Similarly, mass of fine aggregate, G. G is obtained, that is volume of all aggregate, 0.695 in this case. Then volume of fine aggregate, whatever the value that is obtained here after deducting 1 minus of volume of coarse aggregate, whatever the value you get, you enter in the volume of fine aggregate into specific gravity, and that value will be given in the data into 1000 gives the mass of the fine aggregate. So this is what the final mix calculation step. Okay. Next, mix proportion. So cement, we have found the mass. So water also we have found the mass. Fine aggregate and coarse aggregate, we have found it in the previous step in the mix calculation. Chemical mass, chemical admixture mass also we have found out, that is in the mass of the chemical admixtures. Then free water cement ratio, we have found it in the second step. Okay, so this is what the final mix proportion says. Okay, but here for fine and coarse aggregate they say SSD. SSD means saturated surface dry condition. Okay, these values are obtained for saturated surface dry condition. So if it is for dry or if it is for wet condition, then we have to do slight adjustment with the values. I will take up when I explain the problem, I will show there. Okay, if the aggregate condition is dry or if it is aggregate condition is wet, then there will be some modification in the fine and coarse aggregate, because this code says it is for SSD condition, but site condition if it is dry, then we have to make some adjustment in the fine and coarse aggregate. Next, after finding this mix proportion, okay, this is not the final mix proportion, we have to do the trial. Okay, so we have to, by taking that mix proportion, we have to cast the concrete, we have to check the workability, whether the workability whatever we have assumed in the first step, okay, in the data it will be given. So in our example we took 75 as our workability. So after calculating the mix proportion, we have to cast the concrete and we have to do the slump test. So in the slump test we can able to we have to achieve that 75 slump. If we are not able to achieve that 75 slump, then we have to do the second trial by adding the water content or by adding the admixture content. We have to adjust suitably. So there we have if you see the uh, calculation, there we have added 1% of admixture. Okay, so in the trial, second trial, we have to increase the dosage content by reducing the water content. Okay, so like that we have to do number of trials, so that whatever the workability that we have specified, okay, in the data, and whatever the strength that is specified in the data, that is M30 in the example that I took. So with the similar way in the question also they will be giving the data. So what kind of the data and the workability which is given in the problem, which should be satisfied from our mix proportion. So till we reach that strength and till we reach that workability, we have to keep on doing the trial mixes. Okay, then only our mix proportion will be finalized. Otherwise our mix proportion whatever we did is wrong. Okay, so after doing first trial we have to carefully observe the workability, and after 7 days or so we have to check the strength of it. Okay, so whether that is nearing to 30 or not, we have to check. Then if there is a segregation or bleeding, that also we have to check. Then only we have to go for that second trial. If everything is failed in the first trial, then we have to go for a second trial. There we have to do some adjustments till we get the required strength, workability, and other parameters. Okay, so this is how we have to do the mix design. So next, the report which is required for the mix design. Period of testing, that is starting and the ending date. So from what day to what is the day of testing and what is the last day of testing, that has to be specified. Then the details of the work, that is type of structure, what type of structure it is. Then all the data provided for mix design as per 4.1. So if you refer IS 10262, we'll get to know what is 4.1. Okay, so all those data are required. Then what is the brand of cement, and what is the percentage of admixture used, or what is the percentage of mineral admixture used, that also have to be specified, and all the mix calculations have to be uh, put up in the report, and the details of the trial mixes, if you have done more number of trials, all those details have to be put up, and at the last we have to recommend the mix proportion of the concrete. Okay, so this is how we have to do the mix proportion in the site also, because these are all done in the uh, these are all done in the office. Okay, so after